And you can have lots of different levels, right? You can create more than one level. We can have lots of levels. So if we go into our architecture, we go over to our datums, grids, and levels. Level. Revit's asking me to save because it's told to back up every couple of minutes, or do an auto save, I should say. I'm just going to hit cancel on that. Start this again. Architecture, level. Okay. Notice as you grab your different levels, it is going to give you the numbers. So you can kind of eyeball it, and the closer you get, the more smaller the increments will be when you do this. If you're zoomed out, it'll jump in bigger numbers. So it doesn't matter because you can pick, and then as you drag, you'll see it align, and then it stops. And then you can start again over here. Okay. Doesn't matter which end you start on or where you start, the bubble will end up at the second point. So you can draw levels wherever you want just by picking points. As you're drawing levels, I'm not pointing out, up over here, it says make a floor plan of the view. So as I'm drawing my levels, it's actually creating floor plans. If you take this off, okay, it won't make a floor plan. You'll click on here and you'll start making levels. Okay, these ones turned from black to blue, but these ones are going to stay black because they're levels that don't have floor plans. And then if all of a sudden you start using floor plans again, you start making levels again, off you go. Okay, escape on the keyboard, wheel out. Okay, made a whole bunch of levels. You can grab these levels and move them around. Okay, you can grip them. They all have that same control. If they happen to, one by one, you could maybe grab these guys and start to align them up and that kind of stuff. Okay. So when you have lots of levels, if you click on here and you right click and you say maximize to 3D extents, it'll find the one that's out the furthest and then line it up. It's not going to follow it. Oh, actually, well, it will follow it actually because it automatically aligns, but only because of that reason. Okay, it automatically aligns it. So again, if you click on here, right click, not reset to 3D extents, maximize 3D extents. Boom, out it goes. Now you can't do more than one at a time. Right click, doesn't show up. You have to do them one at a time. Okay, so when you change this to be 2D, okay, and you right click, that's the one that says reset to 3D extents. Okay, don't get that mixed up with right clicking and saying maximize to 3D extents. Both ends, this end and this end, will go out. So in other words, if I take this guy and let's unalign it on both ends, pull it out. Okay, now notice this is the 3D point too, and I'm using two fingers. Okay, click on here, right click, maximize 3D extents, out it goes. Turn this on or off, it's up to you. Okay, so the other thing is you've made levels here, and some of the levels don't have floor plans. We'll talk about that coming right up. So when you make a new level, as we saw before, by default it turns this on, which makes a floor plan view of the level, and it has a default cut plane looking down at there. You'll notice it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then stops for a while and then goes 13, 14, and 15 because level 10, actually starting here, level 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, I didn't make floor plans up. So if you want a floor plan after the fact, you go to the View tab on the top and you say Plan View, Floor Plan, and it says, okay, these are all the levels in here. This is important. Do not duplicate existing views. In other words, if you take this off, it'll let you make floor plans of any level, regardless of if there's already a floor plan or not. This hides the levels that don't have floor plans. Now, I'm not sure why it's got level 1 and 2 in there, because level 1 and 2 actually have floor plans. I'll have to investigate that a little further. But let's take 8 to 12. Using my shift key, I can grab all of those and say make floor plans of all these levels. Click OK. Boom. Over here, all of a sudden, we are going to see, oh, I see, they're being stored under here. That's why. Floor plans instead of structural plans. Okay. So, and that's why 1 and 2 are structural plans, not floor plans. Okay, so we have floor plans as well as structural plans, and that is a property of the view. So you can see this is discipline structural, but down inside of here, I think it's just a view type. If you pick on here and you say edit type, this is a floor plan. And if you pick on one of these guys, this is a structural plan. So it's actually a different type of plan. So when I go to plan views, I could have made a structural plan of 8, 9 to 10, 11, 12. Okay, instead of, these are architectural. Hit OK. And now here we have structural plans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's new 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And you'll also notice that if you go to a south elevation or any elevation, that those level lines 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12 are now blue instead of black. Okay, when they're black, it means they don't have a floor plan of the level. Sometimes you want to make a level and you don't want a floor plan of the level for whatever reason. Maybe you have two really close to each other, so one you use for the floor plan and the other one is just a reference level, but isn't necessarily a separate floor plan because it's pretty much, you know, right in line with the floor plan of a level that is slightly above it. Okay, so creating levels using the maximize 3D extents and adding new levels, and then creating floor plans, and in this case structural plans. I didn't point that out. When I went to make my floor plan, there's a floor plan and then there's a structural plan. Structural plan, you can see here, creates a floor plan view, and floor plans are created automatically. It doesn't give you much information, but you'll notice that, for instance, in a structural plan, if you open up one of the views, if you go to, say, the view range, which defines where the cut plane is, you'll notice that it's cut at 300 millimeters above the level and looks to 1.5 meters, about 4 feet below, and the top is there. So if you go to a architectural floor plan, your cut plane is going to be higher. If you go into here and go to edit view range, oh, it's actually the same. I'm surprised at that. So it is just a different view type. One is a structural plan and one is a floor plan. Okay, it might even have different categories turned on and off. So in other words, pay attention when you do make your plan that there is the two different. Don't get it mixed up. Plan region is completely different. Okay, so we will talk about all of these views and stuff as we work through our different CAD clips. So that is it for the time being on this part of the levels. You might wonder why you need to know all this. It just comes into play because as you learn to draw all the different things, it doesn't matter if it's mechanical systems or structural objects or architectural objects. All of these things inside of here are somehow either directly or indirectly related to the levels.